Hey guys, Dan the Mustang Doctor here, and here today to talk about tuning and data logging. So I'm going to walk you guys through the data log that's up on the screen a little bit, and this is all relative to timing or spark advance, and then we're going to jump over to the tune and show you where to make the changes there. Now keep in mind this is going to be on an S550 Mustang, GT350, or GT500, so one of the newer ones. And the reason I say that is there's quite a bit of a difference in these newer cars than there was in some of the older ones. And I'm speaking to the 97 Cobra I used to have, so the SN95s are quite a bit easier. There's one borderline knock table that you're able to adjust spark advance on to get more timing or pull some timing away if need be. On these cars, there's about 27 different tables. So where we're at right now is we're right in the data log, and so this was just a wide open throttle pull in fourth gear. And just to kind of flip through this, guys, this is everything you're going to need to grab in your data log. So it's coolant temp, it's every one of these HDFX weighting factors, 1 through 27, and HDFX weighting factor OP, intake air temp, knock sensor, load, MAF hertz, and then both of your banks measured AFR, RPM, and then of course spark advance. So I'm going to actually just move the spark advance right up here to the knock, right below the knock sensor. And essentially what we're doing is we're just kind of skimming through this log here, and you guys can see these data points changing on the left. And so what we're looking for is any knock. As soon as we see knock here registered, I would say above 1, so probably above 1.25 even before we'll make any changes. That's where we're going to want to pull some timing away. If we have 0 knock or even below 1, that's where we're able to add a little bit of timing to pick up a little bit more horsepower. So just kind of flipping through. We're 0 knock right here, and you guys can see we're at 1500 RPM, so we haven't really got into the run yet. Let's see if I can scroll a little bit further here. Get us into where we start to accelerate a little bit more and get some more activity. Let's see. And right in there. Okay. So right here, you guys can see these RPMs really climbing. And that's under wide open throttle. So good, we've got 0 degrees of knock in the knock sensor as I scroll through here, if you guys are watching that. It's right above the spark advance at 14.75. And so what we're looking for again is 0. And the good news is, since we've got 0, we can add some timing. Where do we add that timing? Well, guys, back up to these HDFX weighting factors right here. If you scroll up, anything above 1,000 is what table's being pulled. And that HDFX weighting factor, whatever that number is, that one's 25, that's got a correlation to the knock sensing, or I'm sorry, the borderline spark table in the tune. So you can jump over the tune, jump down to spark advance, or spark, and we're going to go into the borderline knock table. And this is where you guys will see there's a million tables. So again, jumping back over, table 25. So we want to go into table 25, whoops, and essentially we're going to make those changes in here. Mind you, this is, bear with me guys, I'm going to open up the right tune. This is just a base tune for our GT350, so these advanced tables aren't going to be right for a boosted application like the one we're on. So now we're going to jump down here to our spark again. Go into our borderline knock table, and we're going to find 25 again. There, and that looks more like it. And actually, we've already made some adjustments to this one, so we're looking for a wide open throttle total timing of 16 degrees spark advance. And so we've built this table out, but if we would have gone in before we had built this out, you're going to see a spark advance of, at that point in the run, of 14.75 right there. And so it was only pulling 14.75 degrees of spark advance at that point. We'd like 16, we don't have any knock, so we're going to advance that timing a little bit more to pull a little bit more horsepower out of the car. So guys, that's how you data log and tune to spark advance or timing, and that's how you do it safely. Now again, if we jump back over here and we did see knock at all, let's just say right here we saw 2 degrees of knock. We'd go up here to the HDFX weighting factor of 23 and 21. Those are both over 1,000. And we'd want to go back to those tables and we'd want to take a look at where the load was and the RPM was on this data log, exactly where it showed the knock, and we'd want to jump back over to that table and write, let's just say it was on 80% load and under 3,000 RPMs. So that's where we saw the knock. We'd want to, depending on how much knock was shown, let's say it was 2, we'd want to pull 2 degrees of timing right there to keep the car safe, because you don't want it knocking, because that's when you're getting pre-detonation in the cylinder, and that's essentially when your spark advances just a little bit too far ahead of itself, and so it's actually then making a combustion in the cylinder before top dead center, and it's throwing the whole stroke off, and essentially then fighting itself against the piston. You don't want that, because it's really hard on your engine. So again, you don't want, you want as much spark as you can get without knock, right? So we want to advance this as far as we can until we get a little knock, and then we want to retard it by that much knock, or by that much timing. And that's when we know we've maxed out the power band the car can handle at this point. All right, guys, have a great day.